Hello, you guys. Welcome to Uzo Be Living, and it's your girl, Uzo. Living in Belgium has been an interesting journey. As I said in my first video, it has been an interesting journey of highs, lows, and some in betweens. And in retrospect, I feel like so many of the things that I went through, so many of the negative things I went through could have been avoided if I had taken time out to actually understand the society I was moving to. And so, in this very video, I'm going to be sharing some of those things with you to prepare you for your journey if you're moving here or you're moving somewhere else. Also, thank you for the feedback. I realized that in my last video, when I was talking about the accommodation situation, I didn't actually mention how I got the houses. So, I'm going to be sharing that as well in this video. Biggest thing I regret not doing before moving here was not doing enough research into the society. For instance, like when I think about it now, it sounds so incredible. I didn't realize that there were three languages spoken in Belgium. I knew there was Dutch, Netherlands, and part of me, knew there was French, but I didn't even realize that there's a German speaking part in Belgium. The second thing I didn't really do research about was transportation cost. Hey, my very first few weeks here, I was spending, again, I've said in my other videos, my course is inter-university, so it's organized by 5 universities. And in my first semester, I had to go to three different locations, three different cities, and I was spending over 100 euros on transportation per week. It was crazy. I feel like if I had done a bit of research, I would have found this out and I would have found a way to actually mitigate the cost. Another thing that I didn't really do research about was student job availability. If we're being honest, there are lots of student jobs in Belgium, but the problem is most of them require Netherlands. And hello, I came here as an English speaking student, so how am I supposed to get these jobs? So I feel like I didn't do a lot of research about it because if I had, I probably would have had like a plan B on how to get a job before coming here. The second thing I really regret not doing before arriving in Belgium is learning basic words in Netherlands. I took it for granted because my course is in English. So again, like I said, I was sort of expecting that, oh, okay, well, yeah, even though they speak Dutch there, but at least, lots of people can speak English and all of that. And yes, there are people who can speak English, but understanding some certain words in Netherlands would have saved me a whole lot of trouble. For instance, when you go to a bus stop, just being able to understand, the signs and all of that, so many things. The third thing that I regret not doing was trying to find an online job before coming here. If I'm being honest with you, when I arrived here, I was still working with my former boss as a part-time virtual assistant. But at the same time, I was earning in Naira, right? And I was in a community where I was spending euros. I really, really wanted to get a job, but I couldn't because you can't get a job until you get your residence permit. You can't get your residence permit until you're settled. You can't be settled until you find a house and then the police officer comes to do your check and all of that. So I feel like if I had gotten like an online job, paying me either in euros or another foreign currency would have helped a lot because I was spending so much money and nothing was coming in and I was so stressed and so depressed about it. So if you're coming here, I think the best thing to do is to start immediately to look for an online part-time job where you can be earning in forex, especially if you know that you're bearing a lot of your expenses. The fourth thing I regret not doing was finding a community here. If I'm being honest with myself, and yes, I'm going to cut myself some slack, I actually tried. I really Googled Nigerians in Belgium, Nigerians in Brussels, and all of that, but I didn't seem to see anything online. The only community that I found from Nigeria is a church I go to, ACF. For some reason, in my search for communities, churches, and everything, I found ACF. And to be honest, ACF was really, really helpful. And later on in this video, I'll explain what I mean by that. So as much as possible, when you're moving to a place, try to find a community, try to find friends, try to build, try to get to know people online before you actually move here. Not saying that you're going to move wherever it is you're moving and be a burden to them, but at least it gives you some sort of soft landing because at least there are people to help you, to put you through, in the society. When I came here, I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anything. So it was incredibly difficult for me to integrate. But if I had found a community and immersed myself into that community before coming here, I feel like integration would have been easier. The fifth thing I regret is not finding accommodation before I got here. I know I said in my last video that it's not a wise decision to pay for a house without seeing it. But now in retrospect, I realized that there are ways that I could have, gone about this. There are uh, um, formal student accommodation organizations that I could actually have, gotten my accommodation through. But at that time, I didn't realize, again, ties down to not doing enough research about the society. I didn't realize it. I was looking at the commercial website, and of course, it's not wise, again, like I said, to pay for a house you haven't seen because there's so many scammers out there. But if I had gone through like student accommodation organizations, I feel like I would have gotten a place, I would have gotten my contract, and I'd have just arrived, probably spent 1 or 2 days in a hotel trying to find my feet, and then just moved in at once and saved all the money. So let me quickly share the ways in which you can get a house in Belgium. The first one is through your university housing service. My course again is conducted by 5 universities, but Ghent University is the major university organizing it. So when I was coming here, they sent me a list of websites to find the house. But unfortunately for me, by the time I started looking, by the time I was sure that I was coming here and I started looking, it was already too late. All the places were taken. So when I arrived here, I used the Antwerp University Housing Service, and that was how I located ITM. So that is definitely a good place to start from. If you're coming here for school, check out the housing service website of your university. They will have links for you to check out for accommodation. And then number two, the second place I moved to, I got on Facebook. So when I came here, I joined several Facebook groups for students, for housing and all of that, because I knew my time in ITM residence wasn't long. So I started looking for a place immediately. So I saw the ad on Facebook. I visited the place, I checked it out and everything, and then I made sure that I signed the contract before I paid the money. Do you understand? So Facebook is also a good place to look. You can join, depending on the city you're going to. There's so many groups on Facebook you can join, and then you check out what it is that is being offered. But make sure you look at it, or someone you know looks at it, to avoid being scammed. Another place is housing websites. There's so many housing websites out there. If you just Google accommodation in the city you're going to, say accommodation in Antwerp, accommodation in Ghent, accommodation in Leuven, you will definitely see housing agents or agencies that service those areas. And then finally, and this is where ACF comes in, word of mouth, community. So ACF is Antwerp Christian Center, and I found it in Nigeria. Someone was recommending it, like, oh, if you're looking for a church to go, you should go to ACF. So I found the church, and the very first time I went there, I just spoke to someone randomly and said, oh, I'm looking for a house, I don't have a place. And she was like, oh no, let me introduce you to somebody. And she did, and the person was like, oh, okay, we're going to put it in our bulletin for next Sunday. I was like, what? I'm not even a member, like this is my first time. And that totally blew my mind, and I'm not even exaggerating. The very next Sunday, my name was there in my phone number. Uzamaka Okonkwo just arrived from Nigeria, and she's looking for a place and blah blah. If you know anything, reach out to her. And I was so touched. I mean, by that time, I already paid for the ITM residence, but at the same time, I was so touched that they could do that for me, a stranger, someone that they didn't even know. So I'm saying that to say that if you build a community, you make connections with people, then word of mouth, you never know where you can get help from. Finally, I should have been more patient and explored the city. When I first got here, it was getting cold, so I started going shopping, trying to buy clothes, trying to buy this and that. That's not wrong, right? But if I had taken time out to actually, learn more about the city, to see, okay, where's the cheapest place to get food, where's the cheapest place to get clothes as a student on a budget, without a job, without the prospect of a job immediately, I feel like my life would have been somewhat easier. So if you're coming here or you're going to another city, just, don't spend money too quickly. Relax. take out the time to know where people buy things from. You can join, you can Google it, you can join communities, find out where can I get the cheapest available good food, where can I get good clothing for not so much, and all of that. So many things I have learned in my 1 year plus here now. And yes, I really, really, really regret all the mistakes I made, but at the same time, I'm hoping that me sharing my experiences will also help you or anybody else out there as they're moving either to Belgium or moving somewhere else. So really quickly, I just want to share some apps that will benefit you, some apps you need to download either before you come here or as soon as you come here. Number one, it goes without saying, translation app. If you don't speak the language, then it's difficult to communicate. You will lose your way, you'll be frustrated, you'll be angry. So as much as possible and as soon as possible, download the transport app. Number two, an international banking app. Before you get bank account in Belgium, I mean, like, yeah, you will definitely sweat some. So as much as possible, as much as you can, there's so many international banking apps out there. Get a bank account, especially if you put money in your blocked account, because you need an avenue for the university to send you money. If you don't have an account, they're not going to send you your money and you're going to be stranded. So as soon as you arrive here, or even before you arrive here, download an international banking app. Number three, language app. This one you should do before you get here. Again, like I said, if I had started learning certain words and phrases in Netherlands before coming here, my life would have been easier. So please, before you come here, get in and download a language app and start trying to learn. I'm not saying that you should become fluent or you should be fluent before you get here. No, but just certain words and phrases, because it definitely will make your life easier. And finally, transport app. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you have a transport app, you will have an idea of how much you'll be paying. The bus app, the train app, you have an idea of how much you'll be paying and you'll be able to make your budget. I had no idea because, okay, so the thing is this, when I was in the UK, I had student discount on transport. So when I was coming here, I was thinking, oh, well, regardless of how much it is, I'll still have student discount. But that was an epic fail. I didn't get student discount until I had sorted my insurance. I didn't even at that. I didn't even realize that I was entitled. Sorry, not even student discount. Discount. Let me just say discount. I didn't even realize I was entitled to that discount until like 3 or 4 months after I'd gotten insurance. So basically, I was paying top euro for something that I should have been paying half for. Let me even explain it in actual terms. So I was paying 19 euros 80 per trip for something I should have been paying 12 euros for. So please, download the transport app, because until you get your insurance, you're going to be paying full price. And you need to have an idea of how much you should pay so that you can make an actual budget and, plan your expenses before you arrive here. I hope that you have learned 1 or 2 things from my epic fail in Belgium. I just thought it was really important to share this video, put it out there, because like I said in the beginning, a lot of things I went through could have been avoided, with a bit more foresight. So if you like this video, please like, comment and share. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear what you think. I would love to hear what you want me to talk about. Next week, I'm going to be sharing something a little different. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and make sure you turn on your notification button. Thank you for watching and see you next time.